Yeah, yo, yo, yo. It's the ugly truck driver. How the flock are you? Well, you know me. I'm always going out and watching stuff on TV and on the internet and stuff. Happened to catch a guy on Fox News this morning. His name's Eric Bolling, and he's one of the talking heads there on Fox News, on The Five, and a few other places. He has a program called Cashing In. And I happened to catch a video that Meteorite had put up about him about, hey, Islam, you terrorists, if you want a holy war, we'll bring it to you. I happened to listen to it. It's about a minute and 24 seconds. You can find it here on YouTube. There are times where I will sit there and say that the world should not be America's place to be the total policeman all over, if you know what I mean. And as I've said before, the last war that America won was World War II. Korea, Vietnam, Iraq, all the rest of these intermediate wars here and there were basically negotiated settlements, and in the long run, nobody won. My daddy used to have a saying, if you're going to get in an ass kicking contest, don't plan on coming in second best. Well, you know what? Truth and fact, America's been coming in second best when it comes to fighting wars and kicking ass since the end of World War II. In my case, in Vietnam, we weren't allowed to win. It was all politics. But in this particular case, with all the crap that's going on, with this current administration in Washington, D.C., both in Congress and in the White House, none have a steel rod down their spine, much less a steel set of balls. And yes, they say, well, America is war weary after Afghanistan and Iraq, 12 years of war, 5,300 GIs killed. I would remind you, we lost 56,000 in Vietnam. We lost over 500,000 in World War II. And in World War II, America won a war on three fronts: Europe, North Africa, and Japan. Took a lot of guts, a lot of chutzpah. But in this case, I'm going to agree with Eric Bolling. I don't care if you want to call it ISIS, Al Qaeda, Boko Haram, any other friggin' Islamic terrorist name you want to call it. We're at the point, folk. Unfortunately, our government has no balls or backbone, but we're at the point. And yeah, I know Chuck Hagel sat there and said, we're going to reduce our military down to 400,000, which is less than what we had at the beginning of World War II. That genius, who's a Vietnam vet, is a friggin' idiot. And they say, well, the budget this, the budget that. Yeah, they cut back pay, they cut back benefits and everything else. Those are the people that go out and bleed and die for us, to represent us around the world. But the problem has been ongoing for years and years. Let's face it, Islam's been on the face of the earth 1,300 years. The bulk of their history is still back in the Middle Ages. These guys from ISIS are the worst of the worst, it would seem, at this point. I mean, even Al Qaeda doesn't want to have anything to do with them. That's how bad these people are. They're idiots. They're insane. They're animals. They ought to be taken out and shot in the street like a mad dog. And that's why I say I have to agree with Eric Bolling that cashing in. You want a holy war, Islam? We can bring it to you. They sit and bitch and moan that Israel's picking on Gaza and killing Hamas and all these civilians. Since the end of World War II, Israel's been fighting for its very life to keep its land. It's given away land for peace. It's made peace treaties with these terrorists, and the terrorists break them days and weeks later. Palestine. Oh, I'm a Palestinian. Well, show me Palestinian history. Show me where they actually had land. They're nothing but Jordanian Arabs and everything else that sat there at the end of the Second World War and wanted a piece of something that they didn't deserve. But Eric Bolling's right. You want a war Islam? You want a war ISIS? Let's face it, from North Africa, through Egypt, through the Middle East, up to just about Turkey, all these countries are Islamic. And while they may not be terrorists in their own right, they support, hide, train, everything else. In America, like a bunch of freaking idiots, give these countries billions and trillions of dollars a year in aid. To which I ask, why should we sit there and aid anybody that's out to kill us, that hates our guts? Wherein is the logic behind this? I mean, this even goes to Mexico and Central America right now with the border problem we got. Why are we giving away all our dollars to people that hate us? But getting back to Eric Bolling and about a holy war, ISIS wants a holy war, Al-Qaeda, Boko Haram, whatever. I have to agree with Eric Bolling. It's time to kick ass and take names again. It's time for America once more to man up and say, you know what? We are the greatest superpower on the face of the earth. We do have the ability to go anywhere in the world via air, sea, or land when pushed to it. We don't have another Ronald Reagan right now. Damn sure we ain't got a Ronald Reagan. This idiot in the White House is a gutless wonder. He's a socialist and a communist, in my opinion. And you've heard me say it before. When all these generals get up to the Pentagon with all their stars and bars and all the rest of that, they're no longer military types. They're just politicians in a monkey suit. That's a fact of life. These 535 idiots that are currently on vacation for 5 weeks in Washington, D.C., the two in the White House, one which is up in Hyannisport or something there on a 2-week vacay, none of them got any balls. None of them got any backbone. None of them got any common sense. This genius John Kerry that's supposed to go out and broker peace deals and all that for the Obama administration, go back and look at his history in Vietnam. He lied before Congress in testimony in 1971. Go look it up. But again, I have to agree with Eric Bolling. It's coming to a point that America needs to man up one more time. Because if we don't, the 12 years we spent in Afghanistan and Iraq trying to bolster those people, and at the first sight of a good fight, they drop their guns and run, there's something wrong with that. I'm thinking in my own personal opinion that, yeah, Eric Bolling's right. Let us go out and let these people meet and get their 72 virgins. I forget what general said it. It said, it's not our right to sit there and judge them, just help them meet Allah. Yeah. But therein lies the problem. America's got no backbone, no balls. If we got into a bar fight right now, there'd be some politically correct bastard somewhere saying that we're the heavy, we're the bad guys. It's time to put the PC bullcrap away. It's time to face hard reality. Because damn sure Europe won't do it. England won't do it. All the rest of the countries that have had these Muslims migrate to, they have refused to assimilate into the societies they've moved to, demanding their civil rights under Sharia law. Well, you know, it's like in the old days when you used to migrate and come to America to be an American citizen. You assimilated. You adopted their laws. You adopted their language. You kept your personal heritage. But what kind of a heritage is 1,300 years of terrorism, over 80 million people murdered, women raped, people getting arms, legs, and heads cut off, convert or kill? It's okay to lie to an infidel. Kill the infidel wherever you find him. By the way, in case you missed it, you know what the definition of an infidel is? Anybody that's not a Muslim. Doesn't matter if you're black, white, green, brown, Buddhist, Christian, Catholic, whatever else. You're an infidel. And they think they have the right to take you out. So yeah, I have to agree with Eric Bolling. Islam, terrorist organizations. You want a holy war? Trust me, America can bring a holy war. Just kick the politically correct jerks out of the way. I mean, let's face it. Obama's cabinet, he's got 11 Muslims in it with direct connections to the Muslim Brotherhood. What's that tell you about the current administration? Yeah, it's time to kick ass and take names, people. And don't care what the United Nations says or anybody else. It's time to kick ass and introduce these types of people to their 72 virgins and not even feel bad about it. Don't miss a heartbeat. Just take them out wherever they are, whether it's North Africa, the Middle East, Europe, America, Canada, Central America, the Pacific Islands. It's time for America to suck it up one more time, strap on a big set of steel balls, and say, Islam, you better tone your backside down, otherwise we're going to come and stomp you into the mud and send you back 1,300 years, along with your Akbar, Muhammad, the chosen one. We'll choose you right into an early grave. And if a few civilians that are innocent get killed along the way, we're sorry, but we already know, look at Hamas down in Gaza. They use their civilians as shields. Can't help that. Until those people that are being used as shields stand up and say, we ain't taking this crap. But see, they've been bred that way. They've been mentally raised that way. You can find videos here on YouTube of little 3- and 4-year-old kids in Islamic countries being raised up and taught to kill the infidel, kill the Jew. They've got generations and generations and generations of these kind of people. That's all they know. They go into foreign countries, break down their churches, break down their religious idols and stuff. Doesn't matter if you're Christian or Jew or some other religion. They take the women, they rape them, they sell them as sex slaves. They treat them like cows. 1,300 years, Islam has done nothing but degrade humanity. Maybe it is. I mean, nobody likes to talk genocide. But see, ISIS right now in Iraq is creating genocide. I think it's time that America returns the favor. Used to have an old saying, you're either my friend or my enemy. You pick it. Well, Islam, you pick it. You either act civil or go back to your homelands, drive your camels across the desert, live in your tents, live in your 1,300-year-old attitude, and quit screwing with the rest of us. It's time, America, because nobody else has the balls or the ability to stand up and bitch slap these morons right into an early grave. That, my friends, is Eric Bolling's and William Brockner's opinion about Islam, terrorists, and the whole rest of it. You don't like it? Suck it up and get a reality check. Later.